Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to queue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. I am super grateful that you have joined me on this magical today. Today, I am coming out of an extremely magical weekend, as you might be able to tell from the sound of my voice. Any of you longtime listeners will know that anytime I come out of a beautiful soul-gathering weekend, my voice gets a little scratchy due to a whole lot of laughing and hooting and hollering and not a lot of sleep. And so bear with my voice today, you all, because I have some fun concepts to share with you today, all based on my experience at the Stairway to the Stars event in Las Vegas this weekend. This event was put on by the Disclosure Fest Foundation, which was founded by the most amazing, stellar human being I think I have ever had the pleasure of knowing, Adrian Valera. And I just want to give a humongous shout out to this man because he is doing such an incredible service to this world. I knew I wasn't going to be able to talk about this without tearing up today. Because when I say I have never met another human being like this, I truly have not. This man ran this entire event with a staff of maybe around 10 people. This event had thousands of people at the Luxor in Las Vegas. The entire event is a non-profit event. Every single penny of the proceeds from this event, and by the way, if there were proceeds, because can you imagine how expensive? I'm sure there were, but God only knows. It has to be really expensive to do this. So hopefully that the foundation did profit so they could continue to do their work. But every single penny goes towards initiatives to helping clean up the environment, helping the homeless, initiatives for children, which include mass meditations, cleaning the oceans. All of this, we got to get together, have fun to support all of these different initiatives. And so thank goodness that we have this beautiful human, Adrian, in the world who organizes all of this and puts his entire life, every moment of his time, into service to humanity. So I want you all to go and check out disclosurefest.org. Support if you can. They have an amazing Instagram page where you can see all of the different things they're doing. You can see the mass meditation with the children, with 250 children who are putting their hands up to the sun and putting their hands down to the earth and sending love in every direction. Can you imagine what this is actually doing in the world? We always talk about on this podcast how important it is to stay focused in a loving vibration. Children are so incredibly powerful because they're pure. They have this pure intention and they know love so purely. And so all of these children gathering together, sending love to the universe, to the planet. This is helping the planet. This is helping us all. This is shining more and more light, which is what we all need. So speaking of gathering in numbers and building this light, when we gather together at events like this is exactly what we do. And I think that each and every person at this event felt it. We began each day with a ceremony. And on 11/11, at 11/11, we did a mass meditation. The entire conference shut down for everyone to participate in this mass meditation. The energy of this casino was so incredibly heightened, we all forgot we were in Vegas. Well, except for all the casino stuff, right? But the light that was building and building was so incredible that we saw orbs playing in the beam of light coming out of the pyramid of the hotel each night. What's interesting, at events like this, it will typically begin with what we like to call, and excuse my French if there's any children listening, now would be the time for earmuffs. What we like to call this is fuckery in the field. When we gather and we build this much light, there's also the opportunity of that balance. And because we live in a balanced environment, there's always this balanced yin and yang. When we build that much light, then we also offer the opportunity for that much fuckery in the field. And what's beautiful about that is it gives us the opportunity to come back into our center, to transmute our shadows, to look at things with a different perspective on how is this beneficial? How can we look at this in a new light, in a loving way? So there was a whole bunch of little fires to put out on Friday, and they all got handled very nicely and very smoothly and easily. And nobody would ever know that those fires were even happening because everything went so smoothly. At one point, after one of the fires were put out, a very good friend of mine who is also a host of this event, Michelle Anderson, who is instrumental to helping with this event. She is a humongous piece. I am now calling her my grandmother spider. She is the master web weaver. And without her, these events wouldn't be the same. And immediately after her and I put out a little fire, two people walked up to us, the two people who host the Sunfire Festival, which occurred at the Tico Time Resort in August of this year, which you might have heard me talk about, Jen and Brian Berryhill, who are just incredible facilitators of ceremony, incredible loving beings. And these two walked up and Michelle looked at Brian and she said, "Can we go outside and do a tobacco ceremony and sing a protection song?" And Brian said, "Absolutely." So the four of us went outside to this little courtyard. Luckily, we had a little outside space there where we could go get some reprieve in the trees. We went outside, we each took a little tobacco in our hands, and we prayed. And we prayed that each and every single person here would transmute any trigger, any shadow, to understand why it was coming in for them so that they could empower themselves, so that they can be in their light. Because this is what we were all doing and helping each other do. So this is what happens when we gather like this. We all are helping one another. We're all building this energy together, and we're all leading by example. It's such an amazing, beautiful feeling. It is so difficult to describe. After our prayers, Brian sang, I think it is a Lakota protection ceremony song. And his voice, this beautiful, deep voice, just echoed throughout this courtyard, sending these vibrations of energy throughout this, who knows how far it went. And you want to know what I realized this morning? After we did that, there was no more fires to put out, not a single one. From that point on, pure magic.
Before we continue on with today's episode, for those of you interested in getting more fantastic fungi in your life, I want to take a quick moment to tell you about a friend of mine's brand new company, The Great Mother. Recently, I have been drinking the Great Mother's superfood mushroom coffee alternative called a Ritual, as well as regularly taking their awesome Ally microdoses, and I am truly loving both. As you probably know, these days many of the world's highest achievers and performers swear by microdosing. The problem is it can still be difficult to get a hold of magic mushrooms. That's why when my friend reached out, who lives in an area and country where legalization is not a problem like it was in the past, and said he'd be willing to offer microdoses to my listeners, I wanted to pass the word along. Ally microdoses are 100% organic. And in addition to a small amount of the magic active ingredient, they also contain functional mushrooms like lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, and other brain boosters like bacopa. Ally is essentially a full spectrum nootropic. And of course, the coffee alternative Ritual doesn't contain magic mushrooms, but it has an array of the best organic functional mushrooms in the world. And, with functional mushrooms, it's really important to get them from the highest integrity sources. And whereas some other highly popular mushroom coffee alternatives on the market only contain a few varieties of functional mushrooms in their actual ingredients, Ritual has 7. Not only does it contain more types, it also contains 3 to 4 times the amount that the big brands have in each serving, and it tastes amazing. I actually like to have it on its own as well as mixing it into my coffee sometimes as well. However, since this is definitely a unique offering, there are a few steps. First, just reach out and request to follow the private page, thegreat.mother on Instagram. Once you've been accepted to follow, just message what you're interested in getting and someone will get back to you.
What I noticed so much about this weekend were all the different connections being made. People seeing each other again, remembering one another, seeing their soul family again for the very first time. I had the incredible opportunity and honor to help host here and there throughout the weekend. And at one point, I forget who I was introducing. I think it might have been Sarah Bretzman Cosme. And when I was introducing her, I asked the audience, how many of you have experienced healing this weekend? And the majority, I would say maybe 3/4 of the room, maybe just a little less than that, raised their hand. To be able to come to an event for the weekend, what seems like a conference, to experience healing in that, to gather with soul family and feel that you're not weird for the first time, that other people understand you. Look at all these other weirdos like me that get the stuff that I get, that want to talk about this weird stuff with me. The connections that are made are unbelievable. Beyond that, the environment that is created is one that provides for people being 100% themselves. It is a safe environment for people to be vulnerable, to be safe being vulnerable in their authenticity. This is one of my personal favorite aspects of gathering in this way, because each and every time we go to an event, you see the same people, you meet the same people, you get to know certain faces, and each time you develop deeper connections with those who you're supposed to develop that deeper connection with at that time. And I am super grateful to have developed more connections this weekend. I met already these soul sisters, but this weekend, that connection grew so much deeper and helped to empower me. This is the point. We're here to empower each other, to help show each other the way. Here I go again. I talked about Michelle Anderson earlier. I don't think I would be the same person I am today without this woman. When I tell you she is a grandmother spider, she is a master web weaver. She is also one person I can say that is an exemplary example of leading by example. You can just watch this woman be, and you can learn how to be, how to come into your center, how to be loving, how to share, how to be inclusive, how to always be helpful. I am so amazed by the people that I have the honor to know because of going to these events. And you know what? Years ago, I think my very first event was 2017, and I did not know a single soul, not a single soul. And I went to a Conscious Life Expo in LA all by myself. And this is the way to do it. I think this is a really wonderful way to go to one of these events. When you go by yourself, you're forced to meet people. And I love that because maybe you feel a little uncomfortable being out there and sociable, but this environment, everyone is so inclusive. Somebody's going to come up and talk to you, whether you want them to talk to you or not. You are going to meet a ton of people and fall in love with these people along the way. I love to watch all the different connections and everybody just loving on each other. It's a big little love fest. So thank goodness I went to that first conference all by myself, standing in a line, waiting in a really long line to go into a talk, eating a falafel. And a man next to me starts asking me questions. And he waited for the very perfect opportunity for me to put that falafel right in my mouth so my mouth was full for him to ask that question, just to be funny, which started our now, 6-year friendship, going on 7-year friendship. Little things like that. The connections that you are supposed to make, you will make. One thing I learned this weekend is that, and I continue to learn and remind myself of, because we have no control and there's nothing to worry about, because it's all divine. Everything's always divine. It works out exactly the way it's supposed to. And so through this one man at this one conference, I went on to meet another person, going to other events because of these people, meeting other people, gathering more tribe. And the only way to gather your tribe or find your tribe is to go to whatever you resonate with, whatever feels good to you. Go, just go and feel it out. Just experience it. You will definitely thank me for it, especially if you're someone who is thinking, I wish I knew my tribe. I wish I knew people that I could talk to about all this crazy stuff. Am I the only one in my family that wants to talk about this stuff? Why am I the black sheep? I need to get with my people. This is how you get with your people. Find an event and go and meet all the people you can and hug all the people you can and shine your light and be you, be authentically you. And when you do this, the magic that you experience is so overwhelming. Today, I have found myself brought to tears, I can't tell you how many times, with overwhelming gratitude. Gratitude for the people, for the love, for the experiences. The only way we can have these experiences is when we gather, because the power that we have in numbers, when we all have a singular intention to shine our light, to find more love, to see the love in every single moment. When we do this together, we can literally move mountains. And honestly, I think we did that this weekend, because when we were all there together, laughing, having fun together, loving on one another, it seemed like a different environment. And when everything was packed away and gone the next morning, it felt like, whoa, where are we? The energy completely shifted once everyone left. Didn't shift within ourselves. We could just tell within the environment, wow, this is interesting. Look what we do when we gather. And the amount of synchronicities that occur is completely mind-blowing. It's funny to me because I get it. I'm so aware. Of course it works this way. But it continues to be extremely fun each and every time one of these mind-blowing synchronicities pop up. Speaking of magical and mind-blowing things, on my drive home last night, a roadrunner ran right across the road in front of my car. Last week, I talked about a coyote that did the same thing. And what's interesting is the roadrunner is even more rare than the coyote. Maybe we'll get into some more animal totems on Thursday, and I'll get into roadrunner and red cardinal, who also, I think it was a red cardinal. It was really, really quick, but it looked like a red bird to me that also swooped by my car. Lots of synchronicities, lots of magic when we gather in this way. And you can only experience it if you take that step forward and go. Which reminds me that I also had the honor to be Sarah Bressman-Cosme's subject for her live regression. And in that live regression, the audience was able to ask some questions of their own. And at one point, someone asked, when should I go down this path? And the answer was, now. Now. So if you're thinking about doing something, going to an event, yeah, go. Do it now. Follow that path now. Are you on your right path? Yes, you are. Follow that path. Does it feel good to you? Is it something you're passionate about? Do you love it? Yes, do that. That was a huge message. Another big message is so many of us are dimming our lights still. We need to all shine brighter, stepping into our authentic selves. And when, like I said, when we gather like this, we feel safe to do so. And the more we do so, the more we feel safe to do so. So I want to encourage all of you again, let's get together. Gather together as tribe. Let's build our soul family. I want all of you to come to these events. More and more of us get together. Learn, love, teach, grow, expand, transform. These are life-changing events. This one feels incredibly powerful. And that's probably because of who runs it, because of the intention, because it is in service to humanity. If you all want to actually have access to this conference, it is available. You can go and get the virtual access all 3 days, listen to every single talk. You can even see that live regression. We even did a QHHT panel that you can watch. That is available on the disclosurefest.org website. So go check that out if you're interested. And let's see what else. I think that's it for me today, everyone. I love you all so much. Thank you for being with me today. And I'm going to leave you with this incredible song, by the way, that I found today. I'm super stoked about it. I love that I'm led to certain songs like this because I think it is absolutely perfect for this weekend that I just talked about. And I even had a little dance party before the show today on this song. So I encourage you all to have a little dance party too. This is Shine Bright by Aelenario, Polish Ambassador, and Mr. Liff. Until next time, I love you all.
It's an adventure, it's an occurrence with no deterrence. Patience is key even though it feels urgent. Do you have the strength to sit with each moment? Identify your place in the scheme and then own it. Zoom out and see the overall picture. Take the thoughts with ya, use pen to draft scripture. In the folds of time, the annals remind of the missteps that crumble kingdoms, and we'll find amidst the ruined strands of grass now brewing, displaying that the birth of an era had been looming. The new information breeds some new energy, a positive vibe that is available plentifully. What will you do with it? Be a true cynic, or will your legacy show that you grew with it? Take the path that leads to more light, don't miss out. This is your chance to shine bright.
Comes as fire in the dark, as a beat heart beating on the mark, like a lantern looking for a shade. Shadow shift and watch it fall away. It comes as spark into your mind, with a beat heart keeping you in time, as an ache and fury for the pain, and a will to never be the same.
Yo, where can we take you at this turn? On the surface of the sun, we may not get burned. So celestial, extraterrestrial, music made with love resurrecting you. Up from the sludge, up from the grind, free from the shackles, free from the bind. Sight for the blind with some 8D glasses, extra dimensions, best of intentions. Best not to mention heights of ascension to those who would throw the wrench in. Gut wrenching to think that we don't all wanna fly. If you're staying in the former states of mind, goodbye. I see new horizons, yes, the sun's rising, so awe-inspiring. Watch us just dive in, thriving as we bask in the light. Don't miss out, this is your chance to shine bright.
Wings see the breath of the life that lives. Some child see the haze of the maze that keeps him. Daughter see the moon and the tide she came from. There to the duty, opportunity given. Eyes hold witness, a choice is tasteless. Consume and waste till we've all gone nameless. Heart very evil in the din to bear this. Pillaging our field till we've all gone homeless. Without this home we would not be in. Without this home we could not do. Without this home we will not live. We got too much to give it all up. So we see the breath of the life that lives them. Child see the haze of the maze that keeps them. Daughter see the moon and the tide she came from. There to the duty, opportunity given. Comes as fire in the dark, as a beat heart beating on a mark, as a lantern looking for a shade. Shadow shift and watch it fall away. It comes as spark into your mind, with a beat heart keeping you in tight, as an ache and fury for the pain, and a will to never be the same.
I see new horizons, yes, the sun's rising. So awe-inspiring, watch us just dive in. Thriving as we bask in the light. Don't miss out, this is your chance to shine bright.